Hi. So today I'm coming on here to share my updates on my calculator that I made. So I wanted to share them with you. I'll share the updates as I go. That way I don't have to keep going back and forth. And I can keep the screen bigger. The asking price is 2.8. We're going to do 2.25 to start. Although we did offer lower, but we weren't even close is what we were told. So agent fee and wholesale fee, there is none. There's no renovations. The balance on the first loan is $535. I'm going to put that in there. There's no second loan. The insurance that has to be paid up front is $14,996. Again, the inspection fee, appraisal fee, you'll have to look in your area and see what that's going to cost you. The EMD is $22,500, which he's putting up front. The out-of-pocket upfront fee for our using our tactical team is $1,400. It's a total of $4,000, but you pay the $1,400 up front to start the cost for the TC, and then the $2,600 will be put on the back end, which is over here in our seller carryback. And if you see, there's the remaining put on the back end. So the total entry fee for this is $62,646. Closing cost. Yep. Now, when you hear people say they get in zero out of pocket, that's possible. If the seller is willing to carry more, then you could add in the insurance, the inspection fees, the appraisal fee, the EMD. You could add in all of that if you wanted to. However, this buyer is willing to pay for this up front. So that's how it's wrote. That's how I've got the calculator set up. But like I said, that can be changed and you could add those cells in there. And you could be zero out of pocket for sure. And including, you could even, I'm going to show you. You could even add, so you have to have reserves for the bank. Oops. This amount right here. You could even add that in there. But he's willing to put this up front and have that in reserve. So he's good. Down here at the mortgage calculator, it shows the purchase price, the down payment, the EMD, the loan amount, the interest rate. You can select that based on what you are approved for. 30-year amortization, and this will be the monthly payment and the annual payment. Down here is our transactional funding box. I did highlight this and call it transactional funding box so you can see what it is. And this shows our fee, which is 2.5%. Unless it's less than $100,000, there's flat fee of $2,500, which you could just select. There's two 2,500s in here, so that would be, whoops. So if you could just do that, or if you don't want to use our TC and just wanted to use do the second closing, you could select 2,500 as well. Otherwise, on this one, it's going to be the 4,000. And then here shows the amount. This is not the loan. I need to change this right here. This is going to be the balance the remaining balance from the loan that you get. See, look. Right here. See, so this is the remaining balance, right, from the loan that you get. So Loan amount minus mortgage balance. That's what it says. That's what that is. Okay, that works too. So then this will be the seller carry, right? 717. And this will be the total distribution to the seller at closing, which is the loan amount minus the mortgage amount minus the seller carry. That's what he gets. Then over here, thinking about getting rid of this. This is 10 units. However, I'm leaving this at 1 unit because it's 2 5 units. And I got a 1 lump sum on each 5 units. So I just put those together and it was $20,869. And then I just put in 1 unit to make it simple. And then again, if you have laundry, pet fees, late fees, all that, you can put that in there as well. Now we're going to move over to the, all right. Shoot. Dang it. Yeah, that's good right there. Okay. Property management. I did change this and put all the percentage 0 through 25, which short-term rentals can go up to 25, or maybe I've seen 30, but that's a lot. He's going to manage himself, so there won't be none of that. The pest controls was 178. The utilities was 807. There's no internet. The insurance was calculated on the $14.996 you put in over here. Also, you only have to enter in the blue numbers, and the black will automatically be calculated. And then property taxes was $1,050. The landscape was $200. And then if you come up here to profit and loss projections, you'll see the totals put in here. And you'll see that the annual revenue was $250. And then to get the NOI, you will subtract the total expense. So you take $250 minus $66,858, and then you get the $183,569 is the NOI, leaving you with the 8% cap rate because I have 22.225 for the offer purchase price. See, go back and see what B8 is. Purchase price. Okay. So the debt service, and then although this payment is in here at 159, or I'm sorry, 597, 1.41. Okay, that 1% was still in there. Okay, that's fine. The problem with this is if I do 2%, you're going to see them in the yellow. It's not going to work. So now we know the most I can offer them is 1%, or we can offer them. He's doing the offer. I'm just underwriting it, but I'm going to say we, because I say we a lot. It's okay. That works. So then if you come over here, come back over here, the refi calculator. Okay. So if you, based on what we have in here, if you look down here, you're going to see on the refi calculator, we are in parentheses, which means it's a negative. So in order to get depreciation value, you have to have a certain amount of time has to pass. And then also to get depreciation value, which I have in here 2 to 7%, you need to type in like your city and state and find out what the depreciation value is, the yearly depreciation value is, and you can put that percentage in there. And that will help calculate this. Now, in order to see enough time, we're going to have a balloon here. So let's say it is 5-year balloon. Well, 5-year, we're still negative. Okay. And then If we do 10, we are out of, we're at a cash refi out at 261. And then could also change it to 7. You can get your seller paid off quicker that way. However, if you can get them to wait 10 years, then they get a bigger payout, and so do you. So it just, it's all about negotiations. What can you do? What will make everybody happy? So I'm going to leave it at that for now. The equity, okay, here's equity. It could be 0, right? Or 1%, which gives me 44, total 500. Let's do 5%. If we do, what does 5% look like? Well, 5% gives me, now he gets, your equity partner gets total of almost $600 here and 200, so 70, almost 7,200 a year, whoops, and then 32, and then 26. Or if you want to give them 10%, if that wasn't, you can do 7%. You can change that to 11%. I mean, you could do all kinds of things. Let's do 10, right? So that means every year he gets this, right? And he gets that. So everything looks good. Also, you're still looking good over here. The other thing, because we couldn't, say they wanted 3%, they want 3% interest rate. What does that look like? Well, at 3% interest, he gets a total of $1,800 a month, $1,900 a month, $21,000 a year. Okay, well, according to DSCR loan, I'm not going to do that. So maybe you could pay him in some of this cash flow. You see? So here you got 5%, which that was going to be. So if you got, 10%, you got 5,007. So you got 55. The other 3% was 21. So let's change it to 15% and see what that looks like. And I think that's how we did it, because this now is almost 8 and 6, which is 14. That's closer to the number. Like I said, he's wanting a 3% interest rate on that. So see, you can adjust. And if there's not enough room with the private money lender for the DSCR loan, you could always pay them out of your cash flow, if the cash flow is there, obviously. So let me go back up here. Wait a minute. There's one more thing I added to the calculator, which is the IRR, which is the internal rate of revenue. So it shows you the money that you put in, which is negative 62, and then your IRR is 84% return, which is pretty good. Pretty good. That's really good. Super good. Anyways, I wanted to show you. This only goes down to here because of the 7-year balloon. However, if you change, okay, I got to make this smaller. Change the balloon. Say you got a 10-year balloon. See, then you'll see it'll fill out 10 years. Or if you got a 15-year balloon, again, it'll fill out to 15. Okay, so now I'm going to go back over to here. I'm going to change this back to 7, the way we had it, because he didn't want to do 10. So I'm saying, you offer one thing, and then you come in here and make changes, to try to fit everybody's needs. So down here, I added this, and this is my structured offer, is what I call it. It's not even, it is a calculator, but it's only doing very little adding and subtracting in here. This You don't have to do anything down here. It basically, it is taking everything up here in this calculator, no matter what changes you make. See, watch. It changes to 5. And see what it does down here. Seller equity. See the changes? Okay. So whatever you change up here, it's going to change down here. And this is going to be your offer. So you will be offering purchase price 2.250. The loan 1.5. Mortgage balance will be paid. The new balance, there is no new balance. It should, okay, new balance. Didn't I want to call this something? Remaining balance. That's what I want to call this. Remaining balance. This is the remaining balance from the loan. And then distribution to seller is $299. I should have put the seller carry first. Not that it matters, but to me, and logically, it makes sense that you would put. I probably will even change that before I start sending this out. What I'm going to just makes more logical sense to me. Need my logical sense. Min balance. Okay. Again. Oops. So if this is the remaining balance, then I want to subtract. Okay, I know why I put that in there. So because I keep all the numbers together, and that's why I kept it. So I probably won't change it now. Okay, so anyways, distribution seller at closing is $299, right? Then the remaining balance is $717, which is going to be the seller carryback, which is $717. So I kept that so I could keep the 1% interest only 7-year balloon, and then show the seller equity at 50%. I wanted to keep that all together. That's why I did it that way. So that's fine. And then here it shows the purchase price, what the, I want to make that bold as well. So it shows the seller equity participation. It shows the total seller carry balloon payments. It shows the total seller carry, be bigger or something. Equity payments, the total seller carry payout when you refinance, right? And then the this is the distributions, right? The loan, seller carryback, loan payments, equity payments, payout, and then the total payments to the seller in that 7-year time frame is 2.484934. So the other thing you can do is, I like to do this. You can just, that's the reason why I made this. I bought it. It's the reason why I made this, so that keep you from making errors like I did when I was trying to make an offer and it didn't. I made a typo. So I made this so to help prevent those errors. Okay. See, when that happens, you see how, when it messed up like that. Okay. So what I do is, I'm not going to save. Here's what you can do. You can do this. You can go to Google Sheets, open up a new sheet, you paste it in there. What happened there? Hang on. Copy. paste. There we go. So what is that? So just put my picture in there instead of recording my face? Okay, whatever. Computers. Okay, there's your offer. Okay, so now you can just do file, and you can say download to a PDF file, right? And then export. And when you export, then did I just kill that? Oh, I thought I lost you. Okay, so then open this back up, and there is your offer. And voila, pretty cool, isn't it? So I wanted to share that with you, the updates, and see how things are going. And now I'm making these. I'm not even sure if I'm still in the Zoom, but if you want a copy of this, reach out. I will send you a copy. And if you have any questions, just let me know. Bye.